Okay, kids, today we're going to learn how to actually take a photo, convert it into a sketch, and then you get to color it just like a good old-fashioned coloring book. So, on your desktop, you should see a folder that says Adobe. Go in there and open up Photoshop. And lucky me, I've already done that for us just to save some time. Alright, so there's a photo of my lovely wife, and we're going to recolor this. Okay, so here's my original picture, so I'm just going to save it as sketch original. Now I'm going to resave it again, just in case I mess up, as my sketch. Okay, so this is my sketch. This is the one that I'm actually going to convert. So to make this into a sketch, I'll zoom in just a little bit. As you go up here to the top where it says filter, and we want to go into the filter gallery. And then, so it just zooms right in, right? So let's kind of focus in on my lovely wife. So you want to go to sketch. And then in here, we actually want the photocopy is what we would like. And then what you can do is you can play around with the detail and the darkness to decide how much you want to color in. So if you want to see the whole photo, you just come down here and fit on screen. So there's my whole photo. And then click OK. And then once you're happy with it, you can then start to color it. All right. So you can change your colors with this if you would like, or you can use your original photos. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to open up my original. Okay, so let's say I wanted that green for my actual bench. Well, first off, I'm going to get my brush, and then I'm going to choose my brush color. So I can change it in here, or I can come off and I can click and I can actually get the green that I would like. So the back is a little bit darker. Okay, so now I've got that green. So I can come in here, grab my brush, just like we've done before, adjust my brush size a little bit. I would turn the hardness up a little bit because it is a nice fine line. And then I can start to recolor. Right, now if I go through the lines like I just did, a little trick is before we actually do that, choose black, choose a little bit of a finer black one, and then you're going to want to draw like a thin black line to outline where you want to go. I'm just going very quickly. So take your time. You'll have lots of time on this in class. No, I'm not very good on this little desk, but you get the idea. Okay, and then along here. Then I'll go back and get my green. Go back here, and then I can start to paint away, right? So we want to add some depth to it. That's why we want to put those lines in. So otherwise it's just going to look too flat. And we don't want to look flat. We want to actually make it have some nice depth to it. Now, if you're finding it's just like too thick, too heavy, like this, Okay, I want to show you another trick. I want to pretend to work on the sky here. So you can try different types of brushes. So here's my size, and then here's my settings. And you can actually play with the type of brushes that we actually have. Okay, so if I go here and I click on that, this opens up my brush settings. So I've got different types of brushes that I can use, and right here are different styles. So here are my general brushes, my dry brushes, wet brushes, and some special effect type ones. That general kind of gives you basically it's a wet brush. So if you don't like that wet look right here, try one of these brown or dry ones. Just double click on it, right? And then you can come up here and then you can try it up on here. So I'm going to get that nice blue. So then I'll get, and then see how it gives a little bit of a texture for my sky, which is perfect. Now one thing I want you to be careful of, I'm going to zoom up here on the sky a little bit, is if I'm painting, remember when we used to play with markers, right? I'd go over it, and then I'd go over it again. You want to make sure that you keep it even. So this is what I'm talking about. So I'm going to turn the transparency down a little bit on my brush. Right, so here's my opacity. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And then if I go over it, you'll see how I get kind of the overlapping look. And we want to try to avoid that as best as we can. So when you're coloring, see right there how I get the overlapping. So as long as I keep my mouse down and I color and I go over it, I won't get the overlapping look. But if I hold my mouse down, let go, and then I go again, I'll get a little bit of overlapping. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. So this is just experiment with your different brushes. Okay. Try some different ones out. The wet ones are infamous for doing the overlaps, right? So I'm gonna turn that down. So if I do it there, and then I do it there, then you'll really see an example of what I'm talking about. But if I hold my brush down, I won't get that same effect. And if you want to, what you can do later on is you can come along here and you can get what's called your blur tool or your smudge tool, and then you can come in here and then you can kind of blend them in a little bit. So it's not, so if you do get a line, it's not going to be quite as harsh. Okay, so experiment, have fun. My last little advice is, if I want to get rid of all this stuff here, right, what's going to happen is I have to erase it. So if I go to erase it, then I'm going to have a big hole in here. So when you go to paint, do each area on its own layer. So let me just take this. I'm going to erase my sky here quickly. Okay, so while I'm painting, I would make a new layer. So you come down here, click on a new layer. So then I can work on my sky up here. Right, so see how I'm holding my mouse down, and so I'm getting a nice even color. And as soon as I let it go, and then I start again, I'm going to get that overlap. Right, so I'll have to go in and smudge that. So try to keep your mouse held down to keep it level. Right, so you get the idea. So as I'm going along, I might do this. So then, if I decide I want to work on the bench, okay, make a new layer again, and then I can come over here and get that green again. I'm going to change my brush to a dry one. I'll turn its opacity down. And turning the opacity down just makes it so it's not quite so bold. So that I can, I need a little bit bigger than that. There we go. Right? Now, opacity will also change the color, as you see. So there it's like a gray color. But if I turn my opacity back up to 100%, then I'll get more of the green. So be aware of that as well. And use some black lines so that you don't want to make it look flat. You want to give it depth. And so by outlining some of the things that you're going to be painting, we'll just give it a nice depth and make it actually feel like it's a true painting as opposed to just a blob. All right, good luck. Have fun.